Welcome back, Good Time Cooking Club. Today we're doing part 2 of our Italian cooking series. We're having fun with this one, just like the last time. Today we're making, instead of spaghetti and meatballs, we're making meatball with spaghetti. The first thing we need to do is cook the spaghetti. 1 box, let's cook that up, and then we'll work on the other part. Cook the spaghetti with the directions that are on the box. Also keep an eye on it because it tends to stick on the bottom, so you're going to keep pushing it down and stirring. We'll start on the next part.
Here are our ingredients. I'm grating up some fresh Parmesan, but you could always get the kind that's in the container.
This is essentially a meatloaf. If you've ever made meatloaf before, then you know what's going on. Just got a couple different seasonings in it. Most importantly, before we start, wash your hands, all right? You will be dealing with raw ground beef. I'll put the recipe below so you know proportions here. I'm using a small bowl, and you'll see why. We will be shaping this into a great big meatball, so we need a smaller bowl so we have the right shape. Now we will add the good stuff.
All right, here we go. 1 egg. 1 cup of Parmesan, but let's just put it all in there. All the cheese. Put all the cheese in there. And some plain breadcrumbs. You could always buy the seasoned one. Put the seasoned one in there. It's good stuff. Some oregano. Measurements, again, will be in the recipe. But it's another one of these wing it recipes. It's to taste. Garlic powder. I don't know. Teaspoon. And some red pepper flakes. Don't overdo it with the red pepper flakes. I mean, you don't want a spicy meatball, but this adds a little something to it. And a little bit of salt.
Oh, that's enough salt.
And then finally some milk. Gonna get it all down in there. Gonna mix it up. It's like working with Play-Doh. Work the milk in. You're kneading it like you're kneading bread. Get it all incorporated. That's one of my favorite words.
So I've mixed up the meat, making sure the breadcrumbs are mixed in and the cheese is mixed in. I could have used a bigger bowl. I know that now. And then transferred it, but whatever. Okay, it's all gonna work out in the end. I'm taking a little bit out, and we can kind of judge and figure out how much we're going to need, or we can always add. And I'm going to shape a dome of meat that we will be filling. So you don't want the meatball to be too thin, because then it'll crack open and stuff will leak out. So try to keep the sides. I'm not good with measurements. What's it, 1/2 inch? I don't know. Then we will fill it and then top it off with the rest. Let's drain our spaghetti and mix everything up so it can go in here. I'm adding some shredded mozzarella to the bottom, which will end up being the top. It'll melt down, it'll be nice. It'll be nice. So you don't want naked spaghetti. I'm going to add a little bit of marinara. Get that spaghetti nice and coated. So I think it needs a tiny bit more, maybe a little bit more. Here we go, we're filling up the meatball with the spaghetti. I didn't use the whole box of spaghetti because it would have been way too much, but if you doubled this recipe, or you made this recipe whole, this is a half a recipe, that would have been fine, the whole box. So you have your spaghetti in here. A little extra that we set aside. We're going to make a disc that will fit on top, on the bottom actually, and we will mold. This is the tricky part. This is the tricky part because you need to mold this together so there are no holes in it. Oops. No spaghetti sticking out. So you're gonna have to work with this for a few minutes. Let me get that spoon back. Did I mention, probably not, that you need to preheat the oven to 375? All right, look it's coming together. I'm making sure the cat doesn't get on the counter and that it's all melted together. I think we're good. I think we're good. Now the hard part is getting it out of the bowl. I'm going to put it on a baking sheet or a Pyrex dish or a pie plate, whatever you have. This is a little difficult. Go slow. Go slow. I'm gonna roll our meatball out. It might be a little stuck on the sides. If you sprayed it, it might come out a little easier. Just bear with me. And we can always, oh, look at that. That's some meat. Oh, that's beautiful. Do I sound surprised? I am surprised. Ta-da! Now it goes in the oven for 45 to 60 minutes because you wanna make sure this meat is cooked through. I do want to tell you one thing very important. You've been using your hands, you've had the meat in the bowl, on the countertop. After you get the meatball in the oven, be sure to really clean down your work area because you have been working with raw meat. So that meat, like I said, that means your hands, the bowl, the countertop. All right? Goes in the oven. All right, let's go. Great reveal. Oh, that's a meatball. It weighs a ton. While it was in the oven, I made a quick little glaze of marinara sauce, a little olive oil. You don't have to do this part, but I did put a Worcestershire sauce in, just to give it a little depth. A little garlic powder. You know the drill. I just put stuff in. Yes. And now I'm going to put the rest on. Oh my goodness. Look at that. You eat with your eyes. Looks good, you want to eat it. So we'll do this. Mozzarella cheese. Ta-da! Let's slice it up and see the inside. There we go. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. The first slice never comes out properly, right? That's always the way it is. A little spaghetti in there. Fell apart a little bit. But that's the first slice. You can go on from there. I'm gonna put a little extra cheese on it. And have my meatball with spaghetti, which is 900 degrees. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's lunch, is what this is right now. You know what would go perfect with this? The Italian monkey bread that we made. Perfect. If you made it without the cheese and just added a little extra garlic, you like garlic bread alongside this, but cheese is good. This is fun. This was a fun recipe. Join me next time for part 3 in our Italian cooking series. We're making a dessert. And I hope you make this. If you do, write it down below in the comments. This was brought to you by the Good Time Cooking Club at the Tuxedo Park Library. I'll see you next time.